二人の間通り過ぎた風はどこから寂しさを運んできたの。泣いたりしたその後の空はやけに透き通っていたりしたんだ。
A girl wakes up one day to find that she is not herself. She is a boy living in Tokyo. Meanwhile, a young boy wakes up to find that he is no longer a boy living in Tokyo, but a girl living in a rural Japanese town. And this body switch keeps happening to these people about 3 times a week or so. And in order to maintain normal lives, they have to learn how to communicate each other, and they have to understand how the other lives in their world. Now, I was expecting a very heartfelt and wonderful body swap story. What I ended up getting was a very heartfelt and wonderful body swap story that feels like it was written by Christopher Nolan. The way that they revealed the body swap aspect, the way that things don't go the way you're expecting them to go, the finale, it all feels very Christopher Nolan. Except that it does focus more on the substance, the human element of the story, more so than the concept. The movie does a lot to establish its characters as human beings and make us care about them. When we're introduced to our female character, Mitsuha, we get to see her struggles, we get to see how she lives through her life, we get to see her relationship with her sister, with her grandmother, we get to see her friends, we get to see that she's being bullied by these kids, we see that she has an estranged father who's the mayor, who she hates. And most importantly, we see that she hates her life in this rural town and she just wants to move to Tokyo. Even through that anger and sadness, we see that by nature she's just a very soft and loving person, and we like her more for that. And from her eyes, we're able to learn a little bit about our male character, Taki. We find that by comparison, Taki is really rough around the edges, that he's a little bit quicker to anger, that he's a little bit more impatient. But he's still just a person, he's still just a guy struggling in Tokyo. He has a job, and it's stressful, and he has to deal with all these different people. And the way that we get to see him grow as a person because of this body swapping situation is wonderful to see and beautifully handled. Coming to understand another person the way that he has to affects him in a massive way, and he does the same thing to her. But the movie's not only intelligent in characters and emotion, it's intelligent in plot structure. Like I said before, it feels like Christopher Nolan wrote it. It's intelligent in its use of the concept. When we start out, we're wondering what's going on, why is this happening, why are they showing us this? But as the movie progresses and certain things get revealed, we go, oh, that's why that was like that, and that's why that went that way, and it's a very Christopher Nolan type of feeling. And the third act of this movie is not at all what you would expect it to be. The movie somehow manages to be so many genres all at once while doing all of them pretty much perfectly. And I cannot even begin to describe to you how important the animation and direction is to the overall impact of the story. There are so many moments that just wouldn't have quite the same impact if they weren't so visually breathtaking. And the soundtrack is wonderful. There's so many gorgeously composed songs that have these beautiful lyrics behind them. And the mood that that music brings is so essential what this movie is. That's what makes it stick in our minds. That's what we're going to remember when we think about this movie. This is a wonderful film that was able to capture both my heart and my mind. It utilizes its concept perfectly while also giving us characters to care about emotionally. And it's a movie that makes you think about yourself, that makes you think about how you've grown, about what you've done in life. It's another one of those films where you just feel more enriched when it's over. I'm gonna give Your Name an A+.